information, and we will have an opportunity at the end of the evening for you to get your questions answered by this amazing team of principals. And we also have some of our central office staff with us tonight. In the back of the room is Assistant Superintendent Brian Bertin. He'll be here to support you and answer any questions. Out in the foyer, we have Associate Superintendent Kara Stark and Ken Weaver, and they'll be here as well to help answer questions. With us also, as you can see on the screen, is this amazing team of principals, and I'll start with Jen Service, who is our elementary curriculum specialist. Oh, I see people waving and giving her high fives from afar. Jen is one of our rock stars for sure that helps coordinate this event and ensure that everything in our elementaries runs smoothly. We have Tracy Renfro, principal of Adams. We have Melissa Ahern in the back, who is at our pre-primary center and serves as our director there. We have our dynamic duo at Central Park Elementary. Chelsea Sauvé is our principal and Alyssa Brown is our assistant principal. Over here, we have Woodcrest representing Strong with Caitlin Buer as our principal. Oh, we got a clap there too. We have Katie Geyer, who leads our curriculum team. Yes, all those amazing social media posts are Katie Geyer, and she's going to be sharing some information tonight as well. Chris Waha from Chestnut Hill serves as our principal. In the back row, we have Margaret Doan at Plymouth, and we have Katie Ranke from Siebert. So as you can see, a great team of educators and leaders here to share amazing information with you. We're going to get started with Melissa Ahern. Come on up. I'll leave that there for you.
Oh, I clicked. That's fine. All right, thank you, Penny. Here's just what to expect tonight during our presentation. Next, I'm going to talk about developmental kindergarten. We're going to give you an overview of what a day in the life of kindergarten looks like. We are going to provide additional information about supports and services. We're also going to talk about how families can help prepare your child for kindergarten at home. We are going to discuss ways to connect with MPS as you start your MPS journey. And then we're also going to talk, most importantly, about enrollment and registration information. So next up, developmental kindergarten. So again, my name is Melissa Ahern. I am the director at the Pre-Primary Center just down the street here at Carpenter. We offer several preschool programs at our building, and we also house developmental kindergarten for Midland Public Schools. DK is the first year of a 2-year kindergarten program. Our big focus in DK, or developmental kindergarten, is an extra year to develop social skills, fine and gross motor skills, and independence. Enrollment for DK is for students who are turning 5 years old between September 2nd and December 1st. So it's again for those younger students who could really utilize that additional year, or where space allows. Our DK and preschool programs at the Pre-Primary Center are play-based, focusing on kindergarten readiness, but with a playful approach. Out at the enrollment table, there are flyers available in that other room down the hallway. We've provided a developmental kindergarten FAQs flyer just with facts about DK, and I've also provided a breakdown of all of our preschool programs at the Pre-Primary Center as well. So if you have questions about the preschool programs offered by Midland Public Schools, there are flyers in that other space. And next up, I have Mrs. Buer coming up to talk about kindergarten camp. And I'll let you click.
Hello, I'm Caitlin Buer. I'm the principal at Woodcrest Elementary. I'm going to explain what kindergarten camp, just by show of hands. Who has heard the phrase kindergarten camp? All right. Well, I'm here to debunk some of the rumors and tell you exactly what kindergarten camp is. And I want you to know that it is a very unique opportunity. It is for both DK students and kindergarten students. So if you decide to enroll your child at Carpenter for DK, they will also experience this. This is a unique opportunity that we adopted 2 years ago through Midland Public Schools. It is the first 2 weeks of your child's educational experience. You will be notified in August of the teacher your child is assigned to. Now, it's very important to understand that teacher that you are assigned to in August, beginning of August, may not necessarily be the teacher that your child will have after camp is over. Your child will go through 2 weeks of the camp. They will start each day in the same cabin with their lead teacher. Within the cabin, they'll be broken up into different cohorts. Each school does it differently, but they're usually named with an animal. So say your child's the snakes, okay? Every day they will go to that same teacher's classroom. They will get with their 4 to 6 group of students. They'll start the day there, and then they will eventually be mixed in with different cohorts. They will travel to different teachers' classrooms. One day they may be with the snakes, the next day they might be with the rabbits or the hedgehogs. It just depends. But by the end of the 2 weeks, your students will have worked with every single teacher, and they will be mixed in with all those different cohorts. So they will play with them, they will do small group activities with them, and this is really important because the teachers during this time, they're able to observe your child, they're able to assess your child, they're able to see, okay, this child works really well with this child, they take notes of that. And then what the teachers eventually do is they get together, they go over the assessments, they go over their personality screenings that they have done, and they create the classroom list. So by the end of the last day of the 2 weeks, you will be notified, and you will know who your child's teacher is for the remainder of the school. So again, it's very important to understand that first notification you get in August won't necessarily be the teacher that you get at the end of camp. Why do we do this? Think of it as a proactive rather than reactive, right? It's an easy way to make sure that our classes are divided equitable for all of our students and all of our teachers. And it just gives them an idea, it sets them up for success. And we are really happy with the way that it's worked out the past 2 years. And so we think it's really important for our students. Okay, next up is Mrs. Renfro from Adams.
Thank you, Caitlin. I'm Tracy Renfro, principal at Adams, and I'm going to share a little bit with you about kindergarten curriculum. In math, students use the Envision math curriculum. Math learning is hands-on, exploration, focusing on number sense, counting, problem solving, and early calculation skills. Children learn by doing, talking, and exploring math concepts together. In language arts, students develop early reading and writing skills. This includes phonics, learning how to read words, understanding what they read, and beginning to write. Excuse me. Our goal is to build confident, joyful readers and writers. Science and social studies are taught through hands-on whole group activities and are often integrated with reading and math. Excuse me. I hate to say it, but I've avoided the flu, strep throat, norovirus, and now my throat is scratchy. I apologize. Science and social studies are taught through hands-on whole group activities and are often integrated with reading and math. Kindergarten students also attend auxiliary classes, which are sometimes called special classes. They have 1 hour of art, 1 hour of music each week. They also participate in 2 30-minute sessions of physical education and world language. World language looks a little bit different at our schools. Chestnut Hill, Central Park, Plymouth, and Siebert offer Spanish. Woodcrest offers Mandarin, and at Adams, students rotate through German, French, Spanish, and Mandarin, 1 language each marking period. All of our learning is connected through the International Baccalaureate Primary Years Program, or what we call IBPYP. This framework allows students to explore engaging units throughout the year while meeting state standards across all subject areas. We focus on the whole child in kindergarten, not just academics. We intentionally build independence, positive relationship skills, cooperation, social emotional skills, and daily routines. These skills are essential for helping children feel successful and confident while at school. You might be wondering, how do we do so much in one day? We do this by thoughtfully structuring learning through play, recess, exploration, and hands-on activities, along with direct instructional time. As we know, young children learn best when they are active, engaged, and having fun. And next up is Chelsea. She will be talking to you about a day for a kindergartner.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chelsea Sauvé, and I am the proud principal of Central Park Elementary. I am happy to walk through what a typical day looks like within our kindergarten classrooms. Our mornings begin with routines that help children feel safe, welcomed, and ready to learn. This might include greetings, attendance and lunch procedures, and many classrooms do a soft start. This is where students can explore with toys and really help them just ease into the morning, as well as some calendar work time. This all sets the tone for the day, and these routines build that independence, confidence, and a sense of belonging to our classroom communities. From there, students engage in literacy and math, as Ms. Renfro spoke to. Through hands-on activities, conversation, and exploration, they begin developing foundational reading, writing, and number skills that will support them throughout their academic journey. Typically, our reading and writing blocks are around 90 minutes, with math being around 60 minutes per day. Play and exploration are also an essential part of the day. In kindergarten, play is really purposeful. It's where children practice problem solving, creativity, and collaboration while applying what they've learned. We then move into their lunch and recess time, giving students time to refuel, socialize, and be active with their friends, all important for healthy development and focus. Students will go outside daily for lunch recess, weather permitted, and they will also have additional recesses that their teachers will schedule within their own classrooms. Throughout the week, as Ms. Renfro mentioned, students participate in special areas such as art, music, PE, and world language. These experiences broaden their creativity, cultural awareness, and physical development. In addition, they explore science and social studies concepts, learning about the world around them in age-appropriate and engaging ways. And of course, we build in a snack time to keep their energy up. Beyond the daily schedule, there are additional opportunities that enrich the kindergarten experience, including field trips, visits to the library, and STEM learning activities that spark their curiosity and discovery. Lastly, instruction is delivered in a variety of ways to meet each child's needs across all of our MPS classrooms. Sometimes learning happens in whole groups in which all students gather together for learning, building community and a shared understanding. Other times, students work in small groups or received individualized instruction so that teachers can provide targeted support and challenge our students. Teachers are constantly differentiating to meet the varying needs within our classrooms across the district. I will now turn it over to Margaret Doan to speak on what additional supports look like.
All right, thank you. Today I'm going to be talking about additional supports in kindergarten. And as Ms. Sauvé mentioned, all students in kindergarten, regardless of the building, whether it's kindergarten programming or DK programming, will receive support, whole group, small group, or individualized as they need. A big takeaway is that kindergarten is really focused on differentiated instruction, which means that every single child of yours is going to get the instruction they need at the level they're at. So, for example, your kiddo might come into kindergarten and be totally fine with reading instruction in the whole group. They're meeting the benchmarks, they're getting what they need. But they may need a little bit more of that individualized one-on-one with the teacher for math. You guys, that's totally okay, and that's what kindergarten is. We expect this, and we plan for this, and honestly, that's normal through all of their elementary career. That's what we're set up for. So you can expect this kind of learning, it's this kind of support for all of your students at any of the buildings, whichever you choose. For some students, they do need a little bit more of individualized support, and that's offered through an individualized education plan, or what's called an IEP. If your child is currently enrolled in a preschool program where they receive a service such as speech or occupational therapy, they're most likely already on an IEP, and those IEPs do carry over to our schools. So we offer the same services as they would be getting. Those would be speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, social work, and then in some cases, academic support, which we call resource room. All of our buildings support that same programming, so again, if those are words that are sounding familiar to you and concerns you have, you don't need to worry. We support those, and that would carry over with your student to make sure they're getting the appropriate level of support that they need. And then MPS also offers an extra level of very specialized support for some students through special education. Central Park and Plymouth both support programs for students that have some more specific behavioral needs. Adams houses programs for students that have some specific cognitive needs. And then MPS also partners with our ESA to support more special education needs for students that need that. The main takeaway from this slide is really that your students going to receive a variety of levels of support throughout their kindergarten day and throughout their kindergarten year. We're here as a team to support your child and give them the tools they need to be successful. If you do have a student with an IEP and you have a very specific question to your student, we will have an opportunity at the end of this presentation for you to access a QR code to put your question in. But know that we're also happy to answer specific questions at the end of the presentation out in the lobby. With that said, next up is Ms. Service to talk about some district services.
Thank you, Margaret. Good evening. My name is Jen Service, and I am the Elementary Curriculum Specialist for Midland Public Schools. Next, I'll be sharing a little bit of information about two important district services, both transportation and food service. First, district-provided transportation is available for students who live within the MPS elementary boundaries for the school in which they will attend. Elementary bus stops may not be closer than 1.5 miles from the school. For our kindergarten students, transportation is provided from the home address or nearest group stop located outside of the 1.5-mile school radius. It is important to note that a parent or guardian must be present for both pickup and drop-off for kindergarten students. All of our MPS bus drivers are fully licensed and professionally trained, and student safety remains our top priority. Please note, as you will see up on the screen, a save the date. The the Midland Public Schools Transportation Department will be hosting a bus open house on Wednesday, August 5th. Kindergarten students and parents can attend this event for a full bus experience, which includes a ride on the bus. More detailed information will be shared on our district website. Next, our Chartwell's food service program. Breakfast and lunch are served daily, and meals are balanced and nutritious. Our kitchen staff can make accommodations for food allergies and/or medical needs with a doctor's note. This detailed information must be received promptly to make all necessary accommodations. We also offer free and reduced price meals for qualifying families. The application is available online and is confidential and a supportive process. After this presentation, I encourage you to stop by the MPS transportation table and the Chartwell's food service table, which are in the next hallway. to learn more about both of these services and to ask any questions that you may have. Next up, I would like to introduce Katie Rinke, principal of Siebert Elementary, to share details about important dates and upcoming events.
All right, thanks, Jen. My name is Katie Rinke, as she said. I'm at Siebert Elementary, and you may be wondering, how and when do I enroll my kindergartner? So you can see up on the screen, enrollment is open now for residents. In district, if you're in city limits and you're looking to school of choice your child, I would maybe mark this in your phone calendar, set a reminder for yourself. So that enrollment does open tomorrow, February 13th, Friday, for in-district school of choice, and the window ends on March 13th. For non-resident school of choice, that is open April 14th through May 14th. And the system, once you get in to enroll, the system will flag you as you put in your address if you are not a city limit resident or you're out of school and out of non-resident. So it will flag you and stop you from completing that whole enrollment process. Questions about enrollment, we're going to hear more in a minute, but we also will have an enrollment specialist in the hallway to help. And if you're wondering, am I in the city limit? Which school do I reside in? Am I a non-resident? We have a great map in the other hallway as well you can take a peek at. After tonight, we will have more individualized meetings at our buildings. So if you are looking at pre-primary center for Carpenter, they will be holding a building meeting Thursday, February 26th for preschool programs from 5 to 6 o'clock, and then developmental kindergarten from 6 to 7 that same night. And then all of our elementaries will be hosting building kindergarten meetings. You'll get a closer look inside our buildings, learn more of the specifics to each of the uniqueness of our spaces, and those will be 5:30 to 6:30 on Monday, April 13th. So another date to keep in mind. And then if you are a family who may be in need of before school care or after school care, we partner with the Greater Midland Community Center. They offer both before and after care at every one of our buildings, including pre-primary. It starts as early as 7 a.m. for a drop-off, and they do a fabulous job. My own children attend before school some mornings with activities and time in the gym. And then after care runs till 6 p.m. Space is limited, so if that is something you need, the community center will also have a table for information, and you'll want to get on that list right away. They also offer, which is nice, spring break camps and winter break camps if you're needing childcare when school is out of session. And then next up, I'm going to welcome back Miss Caitlin from Woodcrest to talk to you about how you can help us get your kindergartners ready.
Okay, so you have just heard a lot of information, but how can you help your child be ready for kindergarten, for this unique experience of Midland Public Schools? The first thing, read. Read with your child. It's very, very important. We are so lucky to have one of the best libraries in the state of Michigan. Go to the library with your child. The more immersed your child is within literacy, the research supports, the more success they will have as a reader during their elementary experience. So read, read, read. Independence is key. This is a big transition moving from preschool to kindergarten is the independence. In preschool, they still have, multiple helpers helping them put on their coats, opening their lunch bags. Practice, practice, practice independence. One thing that's really important is practicing the amount of time they have to eat lunch. If your child is going to be packing a lunch at school, practice with that lunch bag. Practice unzipping it. Practice opening the chip bag. Practice opening the water bottle. All of those independent skills are very, very important. And all of our kindergarten teachers do a really good job the first few weeks, especially during that camp period. They do go into the cafeteria and help their students. We have parapros in the cafeteria that help those students. So they aren't thrown to the wolves. We have helpers, but practice that independence at home. Also, it's really important to practice getting their coats on and off, zipping their coats. Going to the bathroom is also, that independence is very important. So make sure you're doing those things. We suggest in August, like early August, start setting a timer for lunch and just saying, okay, we have 20 minutes to eat. That practice is very important. Also with the routines, start in August and early bedtime. Getting them into those routines is really important at helping them getting adjusted. If you've experienced kindergarten before with another child, you know there is no tired like the first week of kindergarten tired. All those memes you see with like how the week started, how the week ended with a kindergartner, it is true, okay? So practice those routines because it is a huge shift for your students. But again, we have so many supports and teachers are so helpful and so are our parapros, so they will adjust. Also, be excited about school with your child. Talk positively about their experience. I can, talk from experience that I was more nervous for my child to start kindergarten than he was. So it is a good time to just really go visit the playground. If they're a walker, make sure you do that route a couple times with them before school. So practicing those routines, independence, reading, and being excited about their school experience will set your child up for success. And we're so excited to meet all of your students. So, thanks.
Hi friends, my name is Katie Geyer. I am the Director of Communications and Community Relations at MPS, and if you asked anyone on the stage if they had the best job, they would all say yes, of course. But I think I have the best job because it is my job to tell you about all the incredible and joyous things we're doing at MPS and the things that our students and staff are doing. So I want you to be able to enjoy those stories and get all the information you need. So on the screen behind me, you'll see some different ways you can connect with us. First of all, I recommend following all of our social media channels, which are listed up there. Those are actively monitored social channels, so you can leave a comment, send us a DM, ask us a question. Unless you're asking if there is a snow day, trust me, the high school students have got that one covered. We're good there. We also recommend coming to a board meeting if you're interested in seeing how the Board of Education works, seeing some of our staff in action and some of our students at every board meeting. Please come over to the Administration Center. It's right over here on Carpenter. Those board meetings are usually on the third Monday of every month at 7 o'clock. You can also watch them live and on demand anywhere you get MCTV. It's on the MCTV network. You can also find them on our website. Our website has a plethora of information on there as well. It's midlandps.org. And we also offer, at least at the district level, a twice monthly newsletter called Forward Together. That's where we cover district-wide news and information. If you're not a first-time kindergarten parent, you might have heard about Kindergarten Snapshot from one of those newsletters. Just a note, if you enroll today for your kiddo, you will not actually enter our system to start receiving those until after July when the actual school year begins. So if you want to keep up to date on those ahead of July when our 26-27 school year starts, just go to our website, midlandps.org, and search Forward Together, and we have a link to all of our newsletters on there so you can take a look. And last but not least, I want you to know the buildings do an awesome job of communicating a lot more frequently with our families. Everyone on this stage sends at least a weekly newsletter. You'll also receive communication individually from your child's teacher over the course of the year. But just know that you typically won't start receiving any building information until mid-August because our staff at the building level is not in the office. So you'll start receiving those a couple weeks prior to the start of school. And to take us home, I'm going to have Mr. Chris Waha share what you're all here for, which is enrollment and registration info.
Thank you, Katie. Nothing like following the communications director when you have to give a public, when you're speaking in public. Any and all of our enrollment is done online now, so it's through the MPS website. You should have received, or if you didn't yet, grab a bookmark that has a QR code that you can scan. You can complete the enrollment process either on your phone or computer. Gone through this process a couple of times myself. I think it is quite a bit easier to do on your computer. Some of the documents that are here, you can turn these in digitally or you can turn in a hard copy. So it gives you that option to click either as you're going through that. In that packet that you should have received as you came in today, a few of those pieces of that you need are right in there for you. So importantly, sorry, I'm kind of looking both ways here, but when you are filling out your enrollment, there's a couple of things that we really want you to pay attention to. The contact allowed, mailings allowed, we need you to be able to click those so that you receive all of the information that we are sending out to you. All of those communication pieces won't come to you if you have not clicked on that contact allowed. It is something that all of the buildings have experienced when parents will come in September and say they haven't received anything from their teacher, they haven't received anything from the school. It's because that contact allowed was not clicked, and we are not, so when our system generates those emails, you're not included on that. The release to is also something important. So release to, emergency contacts, you're gonna list all of those people on there. So if grandma and grandpa help, if there's a family friend or aunt or uncle that does pick up, please make sure that you are listing them in your emergency contacts so that we can actually release your student out to those people. Anyone who's not on that list will not be released to your student. If that is the case, we'll typically be contacting you to try to figure out what's going on. Okay, so text communication. Katie brought up that snow day text message. If you want to be alerted to that immediately when that choice is made at the very early time in the morning, if you want to wake up to that text message and already know, then you just have to make sure that you're opted into all of those things. Again, I know we have our phones with us all the time. It's that quick way for us to get those pieces of information. Okay, school of choice. So we've already talked about this a little bit, but school of choice, if you are, for whatever reason, you're looking to attend a school that you're not districted to, you have to get that school of choice filled out. That is a hard deadline for our in-district of March 13th, so make sure if you're getting that process started that you're getting it completed before that March 13th deadline. Once that process for in-district is completed, there's a break where everything gets sorted a bit, and then we'll start that non-resident school of choice after that. And again, those deadlines are pretty firm for us, so we need to make sure that we're getting those in. If you have a student that is already attending an elementary school, you still have to fill out that school of choice for your incoming student. They're not guaranteed, so just it will place you based on the address that you put into the system. So if you are looking to attend any school other than the one that you're a resident of, then you need to make sure that school of choice gets completed. And most importantly for us, help is available. Right? If you're either coming to the building that you plan to attend and we can find someone there that can help you, at our admin center, there's Becky Longstreth as our enrollment specialist. She can help you with anything. Whatever problem you're running into, someone else has run into it too. There's also a kiosk available if you'd like to visit that. That is located right in the front entryway when you come in, right past the front entryway when you come into the admin center. So anything that you need to do, you can get done there. If you need help with language support or any translation services, we have that available for everyone as well. So earlier, Margaret mentioned that we have a QR code. So if you can scan this, we'd like to get a little bit of information about you and your families. And at the end of that, there is a section for you to identify which school you plan to attend, any questions you may have. Okay. I feel like I need to get out of the way. Sorry. Someone from your building will follow up with you if you have any questions. So I'll give you guys a second to grab that QR code. I'll come back to this in just a moment. If you have not done so already, please visit the tables that we have when you exit out. They're all the way over to your left. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we look forward to being a part of your child's educational journey with you. I'm going to put that QR code back up for you. All right, thank you.